it's nice because you lose judgment on people. It's a nice thought, a nice idea, number one. But when I started meditating, thank you, love. When I started meditating, that's the ticket, not judging, including and especially yourself. Very much, we're on the same vibe, warrior, exactly. You've heard about the different stages? Yeah, so I've made a few videos on TikTok about it. I've made maybe 4 or 5 videos on it, but I've never talked about it on my live. So when I started meditating, I know it sounds weird, but I felt like I accessed different stages of my life, like past lives or something. Like, it's hard to explain, but not going to go too much into it. But I've accessed certain specific things in my life. And I strongly believe in soul ages. So this is my belief. Could be wrong, but it helps me navigate less judgment and it feels good. So this is just a belief. So there's 5 soul ages, 5 main soul ages, but in between the 5, here, I'll do it like this so you guys, okay. In between the 5 ages, this is not a Buddhist belief. This is just somebody who claims to have talked and channeled extraterrestrials. Kind of like, anybody know Jerry and Esther Hicks, Bashar? I don't know if you guys know these people. Anyway, they channel extraterrestrial beings. They claim to channel it. What I like about Jerry and Esther Hicks and what I like about Bashar is that even if it's fake, let's say they're lying and they're not channeling extraterrestrials, what they're saying is beautiful. What they're saying is so loving, and it helps people, and it's kind, and it's coming from a place of love. Bashar's channeled by Daryl. Yeah, exactly. So if any of you guys are familiar with this, it's people that believe. Now, a lot of people say they try, okay? And why not let it be truth? Yeah, well, exactly. So for me, it's true. But if somebody doesn't believe, that's okay too. You know what I mean? As long as it's coming from a place of love, to me, it's nice. So this person claims that they had these things and they channeled these messages. And I've had very similar thoughts, similar downloads, I call them, or similar feelings of that this is true. So I'll explain to you and you guys will understand where it's coming from. So there's 5 soul ages, meaning there's different reincarnations. So the people who don't believe in reincarnation can go check out YouTube videos, reincarnation children, and listen to 3, 4, 5-year-olds talking about their past lives. And then ask yourself if reincarnation is fake. Because I feel like that is one thing that we have proof that is real. Because the fact that kids, authentic children, remember their past, remember certain things, like insane details, is crazy. Okay? And there's thousands. There are researchers all around the world right now that are doing they're gathering thousands of kids that remember their past lives. So yeah, even the street they lived on, everything. It's crazy. So the 5 soul ages, remember, there are also soul ages in between the soul ages. Meaning, so this one, there's infant soul, baby soul, young soul, mature soul, and old soul. Yes, you can always ask any question. I'll do my best to answer if I see the question. So infant soul, baby soul, young soul, mature soul, old soul. Now, the old souls are rare. A lot of people are like, I'm an old soul. You can be an old soul and be a young soul and a mature soul and still be an old soul. But the real old soul are very rare. I'm not even an old soul. I'm not an old soul. I'm not saying that ego because that sounded a little ego. I'm totally calling myself out. Like, I'm not even an old soul. Like, I didn't mean to say it that way. I meant, yeah, infant, baby, young, mature, old. The old soul meaning, no matter how much I know and how much I'll explain this after, okay? So, at 3, my son said he came to me after he drowned. and his name was Michael. Oh my God, see? Just on this live. You think Mary would, like, come on. Mary's son came, hey, I drowned and now I'm with you. Like, you know what I mean? Sorry, I'm not sure if you're doing yes or no questions. Yeah, I'm doing any questions. On this live, we just kind of ask random questions, and when I see them, I answer and stuff like that. And welcome to the live. So, the infant soul, it's one of their first lifetimes here, meaning they've lived on other planets. Like, let's say all human beings are star seeds. Every single one of us is a star seed. We come from our souls and stuff like that. Thank you, Guru. Our souls and stuff like that come from other planets. Many of them, right? Have you shown where he died in his past? I've seen so many of them, Young Money, like so many. Okay. So you guys can tell me which soul you are after I say this, because it's pretty cool. Okay. Oh, I don't know. Okay. I don't understand. Anyway, sorry. Let's get back to what I was saying. The infant soul is the first time. So it's a being. It's a soul. Imagine your soul is on another planet. Pleiadian, Sirius, star, whatever planet you want. Like, there's hundreds of planets. And your soul, okay, comes down into this 3-dimensional world. And the infant soul is fresh and new. So usually fresh, new infant souls, and you probably, when I tell you this, you're going to go, oh, I know somebody like this. These people are so, I call it flaky, but loving flaky. You know the people that are just like, male or female, or even no gender, they're just like, like everything is just, like, they can be traumatized and have a death in their family and all sorts of things. Like, all these things can happen to them, and they're like, well, you know, they could have been abused, and they're like, well, well, I'm just gonna move on. And they're just like really not affected. It's like things just, and if ever you talk to these souls, like, and you sit with them and you're like, you know, the concept of this world and like, where do we come from? They're like, oh my God, you're overwhelming me. You know, the people who, I don't know if you guys have ever said that. It's just like, okay, I can't talk like that. It's too much. Like, I can't. Phoebe on Friends. Yeah, it's like the first, actually Phoebe on Friends would be a baby soul. Would be the baby soul. This soul is more like, how can I explain? Because actually, maybe, no, I'll explain. Phoebe on Friends is a little more baby. This one is really purely here, just like an infant learning. And listen, my grandmother is 100%. My grandmother is 1,000,000,000,000,000,000% an infant soul. My grandmother is 89. 89. And she still is like that. She has never learned in her life. Nothing. And she's just, and then when something happens, she's like, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about your problems. I can't hear about anything. Like, everything's just like, no. And that's at an older age. So infant souls are completely 3D, just experiencing here. The first time they're here, they don't remember anything of, like, you know, being these extraterrestrials. Are just like, I'm here, and stuff, okay? And trauma happened to them, and they just, like, ignored it and didn't even think about it, and just like, no, I'm fine. You know, like, listen, I've been abused and I'm cool, I'm fine. Like, they're just like that, okay? Then you get to the baby soul, okay? Now wait, there are different steps of this. You can come back a few times in the infant soul, and when you've learned that experience that you were meant to experience on this baby soul journey, on the infant soul journey, then you switch to the baby soul. Then you come here and you're a little bit more mature. And the baby soul is exactly like a toddler. like a 2-year-old. Baby souls are by far the most biggest risk takers. That's why I didn't say Phoebe. Phoebe is the actually Phoebe, I don't know, let's forget the Phoebe. You guys might be right. I don't know. I'm trying to, because I watched some episodes, but don't kill me, but I haven't watched all the Friends episodes, so there's a lot of that I don't know about Phoebe. So maybe she is a risk taker, I don't know. But the baby soul is a risk taker, meaning they want to go skydiving. And there is no definition of how many times. Like, that is one thing that people don't know, how many times, the in-between age. You could be, let's say you can go back 20 lifetimes or 2 lifetimes or whatever it is. When it comes to the risk taker, the risk taker is the one who wants to go rock climbing. And you know what's crazy is that I know some mature souls and old souls that are married or with baby souls. And the problem with that is that it's great. It's a fun connection because an old soul reminds themselves of like traveling and everything. But the old souls have done all that stuff, so they don't want to, right? So when you go into this one, it's the risk takers. You like to live life on the edge. You like to do some crazy stuff and take trips everywhere. And you want to just, that thrill. Exactly. Think of a toddler, like a little baby that doesn't know that when he walks down the stairs, he can literally just like, and then they want to like, they look on the bed and they just want to jump off the bed and they hurt themselves, but they're like, again, you know, like, listen, my nephew was here yesterday and he was ramming his face into my hand so I could slam him down. And he would take my hand and put it on his face and push himself back down. And it was just like risk taking. Like, just so the people that are here now, their experience, they've already gone through the baby and they know about stuff, but now they're like, I want to travel and I want to take risks. I want to just live life on the edge. And I want to just, so it's a lot of these and old souls get confused because these two love nature. These two here live in nature, are obsessed with nature, are obsessed with foods and experiencing and stuff like that. So baby souls are often mixed up with the old souls because of a lot of the nature connection. But these ones, the old souls, they don't have the risk. They've already taken all those risks. They will travel, but safely. They will go and want to see the world, but in a safe way. You know what I mean? Do I have videos? No, I don't have videos. I should make a video. It's a good question, Wilo. I should make a video on this. Because I can't even find the videos that I had, that I saw about it too. At one point in life, do you know what a level? I think you feel it. The animal Laura, I think you'll feel it. You kind of feel it towards yourself and you kind of see towards others, right? So then, after a few lives of taking risks, right? So you did the baby soul, you start taking the risk, and then you jump, you do a few lives, you come back a few times. Maybe you have to come back a few times because, you know, you went skydiving and you're just like, yeah. So I'll tell you guys in a second what soul I resonate with. And then there's a few here. There's a few in here. And then you come back and then you're a young soul. These souls are either loved or hated, but they make the world go round. Teenagers. Do you know how you love teenagers? Teenagers are making TikTok. Teenagers are making TikTok. Teenagers set the trend, but we also hate them. Right? Like, we love them. They're our kids, but we hate them. Who do we love and hate? People that are taking care of us. The police, the government, power. So you have so many years of taking risks that now you want money and power. Like that, you're like, listen, I traveled, I experienced so many lifetimes. I want to see what all this money and power shit is. Like, that's what I want to see. I want to see what it is to have authority, like a policeman. I want to see what it feels like to be in the government and work and govern people and rule over people and have control, because in this lifetime, in these ones, you knew that other people were controlling you and telling you what to do, what you can't do. So this one, you're like, I'm going to go into law enforcement. I'm going to start, even judges, all these people, the people, or maybe they're people even that that are not in government or whatever, but do you know people who are really, really high stories within, who are really into getting money? Like their sole purpose is about money. I had somebody reach out to me today who is a coach, apparently a very big influencer, checkmark, whatever, pretty well known. I don't know him personally, but pretty well known person, reached out to me, and it was about money. And I realized that I don't get mad at people that are really like money, money, money. I want money. It's all I want. Power, money. I want the biggest houses. I want the biggest, and all that. It's okay to want it because that's their life experience. It's not because they're sheep following the crowd, whatever. It's just that this is their life experience. And this is, and it's funny that I do this because I always do that. I go, this is the middle finger, coincidentally, because it's like we love to hate them, because without the police can keep us safe, but can also kill us. The government sets rules for killers and like sets things and guides us, but can also control us. So it's like we depend on them, but we also really don't like them. Like it's do you know what I mean? So if your main focus is money in this life, chances are you're a young soul. So if it's okay to like money and it's okay to want it, but if your main goal in this life and you're like everything that you do is to get money, like every step you take, like I know people who want to help people. I want to help people. But how can I make money? How about money? Like I don't have money. I want more money. That feeling, that's okay. That's just a young soul. That means that you're in this life to experience the monetary and the power with the money. That's all it is. It's no judgment on that. It's just your life experience. You have to go through a few lives. So imagine a few lives like that. And then you get to the mature soul. And I believe I am a mature soul around here. I'm in one of these lines. Okay. So the mature soul. Okay. Yeah. So when you get to the mature soul, Tarot just said it perfectly. It's love over money. When you get to the mature soul, you have now experienced life and learned about stuff. You have done all the skydiving and the traveling and scuba diving and all these things. You've done lifetimes of money and power and government and ruling and this, and that's what you did. And now you're like, emotions. And there are many in the shift that has happened. A lot of the souls that came in the what's it called, the millennials and stuff like that, a lot of that millennials and surrounding are mature souls that came in because they have the love over money. They still kind of like feel the money on the first lifetime of mature soul. You still kind of want the money. You're like, oh, I still need it, but you kind of are like emotions. I want to feel, I want to love, I want to be loved. I want to be loved. I want to love others. I want to love and feel, and I'm sad and I'm angry and I'm upset and I'm bothered and I'm this. So a lot of that and healing, healing and healing my soul, healing my body, healing my life. So all this stuff is learning to love. Exactly. Just learning that all this, it's like, and this, picture it, this one, like an adult, a typical mature soul is like a mature adult. Let's say a 30s, somebody in their 30s, 40s. In the 30s, 40s, you kind of go, I don't want to care what people think anymore. I want to feel, I wanted this. So chances are, if you're on my live, you are a mature soul, because like attracts like. And energetically, I probably attracted you, because I believe that I am in here. I'm one of these lives. I'm not on my first life of love. That is for sure, because I felt it before, but I'm not an old soul yet. I'm definitely not an old soul, and I'll tell you what the old soul is after. But I'm definitely on one of these few lives. Like, I've done a couple of loving journeys. And the reason I believe that I'm in here somewhere is because I let everybody love what they want. So your first life is you want to love yourself. You're learning to heal yourself, love yourself. You're learning to love others. But when you become on here in these lives, you start saying, I love everyone, even the fucked up people. There is a place for everyone here on earth. And everybody's allowed to feel what they want and love what they want. And if you love to, hurt animals, there's a part in you. Let's say there's a guy, okay, that hurts animals. And this is going to be, I'm going to fuck with your head a little, okay? And I may trigger people that are on these souls. So if there's anybody here on this live that are on these souls, you can get triggered, but I'm just letting you know this is a level here that you get to. When you understand that there will always be murderers on earth. There will always be murderers. There used to be just murderers randomly. Now murderers are in the military. Murderers are and I'm sorry to offend anybody, but if you are in the military killing people, you are legally still murdering people, right? If you kill animals, if you are working in things and you are slaughtering cows and pigs, just slaughter. Sorry to trigger again, warning. If that's what you're doing, when you're in these lives, you don't judge them. I know it's messed up. When you're in these lives, you're like, no, or your first mature soul. Oh God, the first mature soul, you are an activist. If you are walking down the street and saying, don't vaccine, or don't do this, you are not touching me, or you are not this, and you don't eat animals, you're hurting that. Like, if you are on that, it's because you're one of your first mature soul lives, because you're really like, you are loving everything right now, so you don't want anything to be hurt. But when you're getting closer to the old soul, you start realizing that on earth, the earth experience is that everybody has a purpose, and it's a fucked up purpose sometimes for us, but there are so many things that are always reoccurring in the history of the world. There's been deaths, we all die, and there's always, right? So there's different levels. Like, so when you do this, meaning like you get to these levels, right? So it's raw. I'm first time mature soul. So you're like in one of the first lives of the mature soul. It's possible. The brain surgeon is detached and often sociopathic. Wow. So you never know. Sea dragon? I didn't even know that. Now, the old soul. Do you know why there's no old soul here on this live? And I'm going to let you know, I'm going to call a few people out. I've made a few videos on the soul ages, right? And there's a lot of people that go, I'm an old soul. I'm like, no. Old souls don't have social media. That's why you are not an old soul. So anybody who thinks that they're an old soul, I wouldn't be able to tell you, because you wouldn't be on this live. And even if you're borrowing your cousin's phone, and this is not even your TikTok and you're on my live, you're still not an old soul. Old souls are you. Now, I believe that Sadhguru, for example, Sadhguru is never on social media, but people film him. But I think he's on the level, I think he's still a mature soul. This is my job. I'm just passing an opinion here. But Sadhguru is like right there of the old soul, like right there, because he still is trying to change the world. He's still trying to clean the soils. By the way, he's working, if you guys want to follow him, he's doing a lot of like cleaning the soils, and he's an activist on how to heal the planet. But an old soul knows that you come into this, care about phones and social media. They don't care. How sure are you of what you're saying? I have 0% sureness. I could be totally lying and I could be fake right now. It's all dependent on if you resonate. Why, if you just joined this live, what I said at the beginning of this is that I heard this when I was about 20, in my early 20s, and I've meditated, and this resonated with me, and I went deep into my soul age and my purpose here. I call myself an earth ambassador because I'm a mature soul, right? So I got this from information on YouTube on a video when I was in my 20s. Now, I'm just letting you know the video is no longer there because I'm not going to say my age too much if you don't know, but it was many, 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 many years ago when YouTube first started. Okay, just saying, when YouTube first started. And then when I resonated with the video that I saw, I said, wait a minute, because I resonate with it, I'm going to go internally and kind of get the answers within myself. I don't want to always get answers outside of myself. So I went internally, got those answers, and this resonates with me big time. And I said, whoever just joined this live, I said at the beginning of this is that even if I believe that whatever you believe in your heart, whether you're religious or you're spiritual or whatever you are, if it is coming from a place of love and you're not hurting anybody, then you're free to believe what you want, right? So this belief, to me, the reason why it resonates with me is because once I understood the soul ages, and I understood that the old soul, which I didn't even start with, the old soul, if you know anybody, I know an old soul. And I have to tell you, I feel blessed to know this old soul. And when I go visit this old soul since, and they're my age, a little bit older than me, and they're growing their garden, and they have no interest in social media or TV and stuff like that. It's purely here to just, they don't meditate to heal. They don't meditate to heal. They pick this experience to just observe. It's almost like the baby soul. The infant soul. Like, it's almost the same. But the infant soul loves social media. That's the only difference between the infant soul and the old soul. Is the infant soul is like, because the infant soul wants the dopamine, wants the like sugar, like I'm going to just experience everything and just get like, super hyped up and everything. This one is more like you meet them and it's just a vibe. And you could sit with an old soul in complete silence and be bored out of your mind. If you are any of these souls, you will be very bored around an old soul, like bored. But they can just have their hands in dirt and just be, you know what I mean? There are just ones to me that come here after completing all of this. Yes, exactly. It made me think once of a man, twice a child. Yeah. What was I going to say? But by the way, the old souls, the reason they don't come online and they don't go on social media because they don't want to assist people. And when I talked to an old soul and I sat there and this soul knew about everything, just everything. And when I talked to this old soul and this soul doesn't want to help people. Isn't it funny? Old souls don't care to like help the world and how it's like it's so beyond. It's understanding that everybody is here just to be. And there's no like, let me guide you through. That's mature soul. That's why I am in my mature soul phases, because I'm on social media and I am using my trauma to help other people with their trauma and to guide. So the old souls are not on social media. There is not one single old soul that'll be on social media. But you have to remember, maybe I should change the name. You know what? Instead of calling this an old soul, I think I'm going to call it a different name, because people don't understand that mature souls are old souls. Do you understand? Oh, mature souls are pretty old. They had infant, baby, young. Like, they have been here. Like, if you are a mature soul and you're working on healing and emotions, you're an old soul. You've been here so many times. But maybe I should change the name instead of old soul. Just call it like ancient soul or something. It's not superior. That's the thing. It's not even superior. It's like neutral soul. It's almost like a neutral soul. They just come here to like look at people. There's no, and let me tell you, when you sit with an elderly soul, wise soul. Yeah, but why? The reason why is because these are wise. A lot of them are wise souls. Retired soul. Yes. A retired soul. I'm totally calling it the retired soul. Because, okay, I'll give you guys, that is a great one. Okay, so Ezo Thomas. Do you know why retired soul is so good? Because so I have a very good friend of mine, okay? She was a client and stuff like that for many years. And she retired and she moved to Florida. She used to do so much for her family, for everybody, for everything. And then she retired, moved to Florida, and all she does is sip margaritas. No, not margaritas. Martinis by the water every day. She just goes by the beach. She gets her sun rays. She sits there. She has a couple martinis. She doesn't give a fuck about anybody. She's like, I am not here. I did my life. I did everything already. I am now going to just be. And if like, she's like, and I'll just die when I die. And then she even told me, she's like, I have people that have people around. What did she write? Almost done soul. Ready cooked soul. Yeah. Love Lavender. What did Love Lavender say? Before that? What was the question that she asked? Hold on. What? Do old souls sleep around? No. Definitely not. You are either with an infant soul, you're probably with an infant soul. Old souls don't just, no, God, no. Sorry, retired souls. Retired souls do not cheat and they don't kill, they don't cheat. It's like, picture it like a retired person. When you're old and retired, you don't have time to cheat. You don't even think about that. You're just like, I want to just be. Like, I'm alive. Like, you wake up every day and you're like, oh my God, I'm alive. I'm alive. What am I going to do today? Margarita. What am I going to do today? I'm going to go plant some soil. I'm going to go do that. Do you understand? If you met a very popular spiritual teacher and he slept with multiple women, okay, that's young soul. That is not a mature soul. Okay? You can be, listen to this. Listen, guys. In every soul age, there are multiple souls in between. I'm going to show you guys. Okay? I think, do I have a working pen? Is this pen working? No, it doesn't even work. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm going to show you guys this. There. This is, so what did I say? Infant soul. You guys are going to see my writing. Infant, baby, hold on. Baby soul. Now that I'm writing it down, I don't remember. Baby soul, young soul, mature soul, old soul. Okay? So you come from, let's say, a planet or like full of planets, and you have this one, this one, this one. Hold on, I'm going to show you guys, okay? And then in between, you have a bunch. Okay, hold on. Now, I know it's going to be upside down because I'm like the camera, right? Sorry, guys, because I can't write upside down. Infant soul, baby soul. Damn it. I should invert the camera. Whatever. Okay. Infant soul, baby soul, young soul, mature soul, old soul. Okay. In between, there are random years in between the souls, like this. So if there's a spiritual teacher who knows all the spirituality and he's a spiritual teacher, meaning he's making money money, and his main drive is to sleep with women and to get pleasure and to get money, then he's in the young soul, but he's headed to the mature soul. He's just experiencing now. And usually, or maybe he could even be in between, but I think he would be here because you said he's a spiritual teacher. He would be in between the young, because a young soul wants money and power. And when you are sleeping with a lot of people, there's a sense of power that you're gaining. When you are actively trying to, you cannot just be with one person, or even sometimes with nobody, just being by yourself. You can't. You need multiple, because what's happening is there's a power that it gives you. There's a certain energy that it gives you. So the young soul has to do with that. And they can say, I'm an old soul, which is true. A young soul is an old soul. A young soul has been here how many lifetimes? Like full of lifetimes. So even young souls have been here so many times. Mature souls are old souls, but instead of writing old, we're going to say retired. Okay, retired. So instead of the old, I'm blocking off the old. I really am totally using the word retired. Again, thank you for that, because that is the best retired soul. And these three here are old souls. Okay, these three are old souls. So the retired soul, which is better to do it that way, because everybody wants to be I'm an old soul, I feel it. It's okay, but right? What is it? Could be running from everything, not caring who they sleep with. Yeah, because if you are in a later mature soul, if you are a mature soul and you're in the later ages, you understand that whoever that you sleep with is your energy. You are sleeping with everybody's partner. When you understand a mature soul is that whoever you are intimate with sexually, you are also intimate with all the partners that they have had. Because if you understand about quantum physics, okay, I'm not even talking spiritually. I'm talking energetically, quantum physics. If I right now spit, since COVID, you guys understand, if I spit and I'm talking to you, my spit particle or my breath, if I breathe on you, my breath goes into your mouth, into your nose, and let's say I'm smoking a cigarette, goes into your nose and goes into your brain, and it says cigarette. That's because the particles of my breath are going into your brain to tell you. Now, we'll make this a little funnier. If somebody farts around you, the particles of their fart, and this is a rule that I have in my house, is you do not fart around me. You do not fart around me. Go to the bathroom. I don't want fart particles going inside my nose and telling my brain, this is a fart. I don't want shit particles in my nose into my brain, because it's going in my brain to tell me what it is. I don't really want that in my life right now. It's not a place where I want to be. So my family all knows that's a rule that we have. So anyways, I don't either, exactly. So what happens is that if you imagine anything that goes into your body, it becomes a part of you. It goes into your body and it becomes a part of you. So if you are intimate with a partner, your sweat, your everything is connecting, and that person who they were with is connecting. So if you are a spiritual teacher that is being intimate with a bunch of people, or you're a person that claims to be like super enlightened, super this, you understand that technically you have energy that is affecting you on a cellular level through all those people that they are now. So you understand. So when you are in the mature soul, so any mature soul will totally get that. Do you understand? They'll totally understand. Then when you get to the retired soul, you understand that you don't even need a sexual partner. You can have one. You can, but it won't even be about that. Because when you get to this, by the way, that's a whole other life, but you can manifest using sexual energy. When you reach that level by yourself or with a partner, when you reach a certain level, you are reaching gamma brainwaves. you're reaching higher dimensional vibrations, that's when you can manifest. And when you understand that if you are having sexual connections, like if you're having sex with someone, any type of way, or let's use the word climax, if you're getting to that level, whether it's by yourself or with a person, there's two reasons. It's either when you're here, it's either to have a baby or to manifest and create things, create a reality, and just understand that you are creating everything in your life concerning that. So you are either creating a baby, a physical form, or you're creating your life around you. So you start using sex for that. That's when the mature soul and the retired soul, that's when it's more there. Now these souls, on the other hand, are like, so if people are cheating on you and stuff like that, they're in these soul ages. If people just want to mess around, they're in these soul ages because they're just experiencing. They're not seeing. So if you have a partner and you're super like monogamous and you understand that sex is like a spiritual energy and it's deep and it's all that stuff, then, and you're with somebody who's like cheating and just thinks, come on, who cares, whatever, it's not a big deal, or who had many partners, stuff like that, and you think it is, it's not because they're a bad person. Well, they could be, but if they are very loving and whatever. Anyway, I'm not going to go too much into it. I don't want to trigger anybody, but these soul ages. Murderers. Now, I know people get triggered when I say this because I believe military is also a murderer. My grandfather was in the military and he was a murderer. Like, he killed people. So legally, it's still a murderer. Okay? Just because you're doing it legally, you still went and did it, right? Now, some people forced in it. That's another story. But this is a good reason to meditate, exactly, right? But if you're in these soul ages, so usually people that are killing and murdering or taking animal lives or taking things like that, human lives, they're in these soul ages because they don't understand about the energy of people. They don't understand about any of this stuff. What about before we awaken in this lifetime? Well, this is why, did you see I made a little circle here? But there should be like a lot of circles. Like a lot. Because there's all different planets all over. Different. By the way, if you guys know about physics, astrophysics, if you know about the black hole, a black hole, my daughter wants to go into physics. She's like, I want to do black holes. I'm like, oh my God. So time and space stops. Time will stop in the black hole. So they believe that this is what happens to us. That there's different planets in universe and multiverses, and we are star seeds. We're all of us are star seeds, and we pick because Earth is here. Earth is a party planet. Okay? Earth is a party planet that has duality. So see it like, you know the yin yang sign? I'm going to go like this. There. That is not a good yin yang sign. I'm doing it upside down. So Earth is the party planet that is duality. Can you go from mature soul to a retired soul in the same lifetime? No, but you can go here. So a lot of people have asked me that, which is a great question because a lot of people ask me that. So what happens is that you don't jump from there to there. But what you probably did do is that you were here. You were a mature soul and or maybe you're here. Like you've already done. If you are a mature soul, and all of a sudden, you don't want to be on social media much anymore. And you kind of like, oh, everything's kind of good. I just want to be in nature and live it. You probably did already many mature soul lives. You came back maybe 10 times already. You know what I mean? Can I turn my camera around? Yeah, hold on a second. I'm going to do that for you so you guys can get a better look at it, okay? Oh, shit. Hold on a second. Give me a second. Ow! I just pulled something. Hold on. How do I turn my camera around? Hold on. Admins, topic. Hold on a second. Turn. Pause live. No. Do you guys know how I turn my camera around? I am so not. Can you guess my age? I don't know. Hold on. I'm going to do this. Hold on. No, it just replied to you guys. Hold on. No, I just liked my own video. Turn the phone. No, I can't just turn the phone, guys. Because if I turn the phone, it just does this. They're saying turn the camera around so you guys can see it properly. But I know there's a way. Hold on. Give me a second. Because I want you guys to see this. Interact. There has to be a way to turn the camera around. This is ridiculous. Oh, got it. There. No. Did it work? Oh my God, I'm mirroring my video. There it is. Hold on. I got it. Hold on. Got it. Oh my God, I'm upside down. Okay. So you guys see me now? Oh, this is weird. Okay. There. You see it? Do you guys see? Oh my God, this is so weird. Because oh man. Okay. Oh my God, this is freaking me out. I'm super confused. Okay. Infant soul. Because when I look in there, I can't look in there. I have to go infant soul. There's lifetimes. Baby soul. Young soul. Mature soul. Retired soul. These three souls are old souls. We are living on the earth, which is a party planet. We come from this. Please do not judge my representation of planets. Okay. Look at you going from mature soul to retired. I like that. I'm calling it now retired soul because these are old souls. Young, mature, and retired are old souls. So I'm just going to change it to retired soul. And this is what it is. So you guys can see it properly. And with every soul, you can come back multiple times. You cannot jump from a mature soul straight to a retired soul. But you can be in one of your lifetimes of you beyond. The first mature soul, the first time you do the mature soul is when you want. Okay. I can't do this. Sorry guys, I gotta switch this. It's freaking me out. I'm turning, hold on. What did I do? Enhance, mirror, video. Okay, back to normal. Because now I see what I'm doing at this. If I put my hand this way, I could see that is this way. It is super cute. Oh my God, I like that. Mature 3.0. Okay, so to give you an example, if you are retired soul, there is nobody on this live that is a retired soul. Like complete last life. This is nobody's last life here. I don't mean to sadden anybody, but there is nobody here because on your last life, you do not have social media. You do not have a TikTok. You don't have Facebook, Instagram. You are completely living and you're living in some state of oneness. You don't care about changing the world. You don't care about helping people. You are totally retired. You've done this so many times. You're here just kind of like the infant soul, just to experience, right? Okay. On the So if you are a mature soul, you understand if you are in one of the lifetimes. So if on your first mature soul, you are really like emotions, and mature souls are the ones who call people sheep. The first life. So if you are a first timer on your mature, it's your first lifetime. If you've ever called somebody a sheep, that's because it's your first mature soul. You're still an old soul, but it's your first time here. Okay. It's your first time, right? So what happens is on our first time is because we want love and we want unity and we want people to wake up, because we have spent so many lifetimes just money and power and experiencing and taking risks when you were a baby soul and like jumping on out of planes and skydiving. You've done all these things that now when you get to this mature soul, you're like, I don't want that anymore. I want everybody to wake up. The earth matters. Things matter. Guys, you know, this, that. So when you get to that, it's because you did all the money and the power. You know about it. So now you've done all these lifetimes and you're like, oh my God, I've done money, power. I've done so much of this stuff that now when you get to the mature soul, you're like, guys, money and power doesn't matter. They're ruling the planet and then the Illuminati and you're getting all like, don't vaccinate me, don't do that. Like you get like, I need to change the world. I need to change everything. And that's when you get there because you're like, I can't handle this anymore. I don't want the money. I've done it. Don't you guys know? Don't you want to wake up? And it's cool to get to the mature soul. But when you've lived a few more times and you already did that, and then you're like you came back a few times, when you get to these areas and you've done the mature soul a few times and you tried to convince people and nobody got convinced and you're like, oh shit. And now you're getting closer to the retired soul. And you're like, you know what? This is, yeah, like, or the mature soul 10.0. You know what I mean? You're kind of did this 10 few times and you're like, I'm done with this now. And now you know that whether you get vaccinated or not, it doesn't matter. Whether there are people that are ruling the world or not, it doesn't matter, because everything you learn when you get closer to the retired soul, that everything comes from you. That you, if you get irritated or upset at anything, it's all internally. It's everything is from inside. And you start getting to there once you hit the later mature. You've done this a few times. And if you hit that in this lifetime, maybe you started off like wanting to change the world, but you hit it. If you are in this life and you hit a moment of clarity of, I'm not going to try to change people anymore. I'm just going to let people live their life and do what they want to do. And I'm going to do what I want to do. Then you probably have done this a few times, because I know first timer mature souls, and no matter what I tell them, they will always feel angry that the world is trying to control us and the governments and this, and it's like there is no, you don't understand, you're sheep, you don't get it, it's trying. And I don't get mad at any of these people. And this is what I love about this theory. Let's say, let's say this theory is wrong. Let's say it's totally wrong. Do you know how nice it is that you stop judging everybody? Do you know how nice it feels internally to stop judging people based on what they were doing in their life? Do you know what I mean? You're just like... And somebody once told me that, oh, this is your last life. And I was like, I don't think it is. I don't think it is. Because in this life, I'm definitely a mature soul. I'm maybe close to it, but it's definitely not. I'm definitely just a mature soul because I have a lot to heal. I have a lot. I'm just sharing my journey with you guys, right? The projection source is self. Big time mark. Yes, exactly. Worst case, if this is not true, then you're happy. And you know what nice, I have to tell you, listen to this story, okay? I'm in Cuba and I just got, for those who don't know, I have a full sleeve tattoo. I'm going to show you guys. Hold on. I got a surgery, so bear with me. Hold on a second. Okay. Okay, so I have a full sleeve tattoo, okay? I never told my mom when I got it. I just got a tattoo and my mom's like anti-tattoo. Well, not anymore, but she used to be. She was like anti-tattoo. I'm actually hot, so this is good. Okay. So I got this tattoo done and I didn't tell my mom. And we were going, it's just a few years ago. Okay. It's about, my daughter was 6 years old, seven years old. She's 16 now. Okay. So we go to Cuba and I'm in the plane. I'm like, Mom, I just want to let you know, because I'm wearing a vest. I'm wearing a shirt like this one, right? And I go, Mom, I just want to let you know that I have something to show you. And I showed her and she's like, oh. And then I told her why I got it. I said, listen, I've had so many surgeries. I had 6 surgeries. I've been cut up so many times that my whole body is scarred. These are just the scars of what I went through. They all have meaning. So the scars on my stomach and the surgeries have meaning, but this also has meaning. And then she started crying and she's like, okay, everything's good. Do you know what I mean? So then, what was I going to say? I was just trying to read your comments for a second. I got lost in what you guys were writing. I'm at the beach. We just got to Cuba. It was not even a half an hour. We're in Cuba. We drop off our clothes, we put on our bathing suits, and we go into the water. And there's these 2 girls that are standing there. And they're looking at me, criticizing me. Like mean. Just criticizing and everything. And this was a long time ago when I used to care what people thought. So I see them. They're pointing at me and they're shaking their head and they're just angry and everything. And my daughter comes up to me and says, she's like, Mommy, they're talking bad about you. She's 7 years old. I said, yeah, I can hear them. They want me to hear them. Like they're saying it very loud. How dare her scar her body like that? It's ridiculous. And I started like getting choked up a bit because I'm like, oh my God, I'm not even in Cuba. I'm here for a week. I'm in Cuba for a freaking week. I get here a half an hour with a brand new tattoo and now I'm getting criticized. So I kind of got affected, right? But I'm glad I got the tattoo because it taught me to not care. And then my daughter, this girl walks by and she happens to be the sister of these 2 girls. And she looks at them. And I have to tell you, stunning, radiating, beautiful, beautiful woman. And she looks at her sisters and she goes, can you guys shut the fuck up? That's what she said to them. She's like, this girl is with her daughter, swimming, having a good time, being happy. And you guys have nothing else better to do than to judge her. I'm frozen, am I? So I was like, and then I stopped. And then my daughter goes, people who are happy, this is my daughter said this. She goes, people who are happy, Mommy, won't judge you. People who are happy won't judge you. The people who are unhappy will judge you. And then I realized, then I started, because I was already going into this, and I realized what was happening is that these ones, there's no self-awareness. I'm just letting you know, if you're trying to focus on people trying to look internally, and these girls had no idea what their sister was saying. So here, her sister's a mature soul, and then they're like these young souls, young or whatever, infant, whatever, and it's one of their first lifetimes, and they're looking at me like criticizing and being mean and being angry. And I realized that there's nothing I can do, because no matter what I say to them or how I look, there's always going to be people that criticize. And I realized this, and I may trigger a lot of people and I may lose a lot of viewers right now, but this applies to transgender. This applies to different races and cultures. If you look at someone and get bothered, you are in these 3 soul categories. See, I just lost a few already. I tell you, every time you bring it up, you lose the ones that are in this category. We just lost these category people. Do you understand? If you look at someone and you're judging them and you're getting upset and you cannot internally reflect, it is because you're an infant, a baby, or a young soul. You do not have the ability to look internally and say, what is it in me? And that's why often when I talk about projection, people are like, no, self-projection, no, what you see in the world is a reflection of you. That's not true. No, yes, it's coming from your brain. You are saying it. It is from you. No, if I don't, and the people that don't get it, is what's happening is that we're in these soul ages. We're in the infant, young, because there's no self-reflection. Think about it this way. Can a newborn baby self-reflect? Obviously not. That's a stupid question, right? Can a toddler self-reflect? No, because do you know that toddlers don't even know yet? Do you know the age of like 2 years old is when a toddler finally knows that they are not their parents. At 2 years old, a toddler goes, I can say no. I am not my mom. We are not one together. So toddlers cannot self-reflect. Now, let me ask you this. Can teenagers self-reflect? How many teenagers do you know can self-reflect? Like older, maybe. But teenagers, there's some that can go, but teenagers don't self-reflect. Teenagers, by the way, all of us were teenagers at one point, so we can't judge teenagers, right? Only yours. Yeah, but even mine has a hard time. Even my daughter has a hard time. But you know what she does? My daughter will judge, criticize, because ego. The young soul is when we find the ego. We find it. We want the ego, the money, the power. We care what people think. Everybody, you want to care. You want to impress others. You want to this. That's exactly like a teenager. Because in our brain stops developing, like the teenager brain develops to like 23, 24 years old. Your brain is still growing and developing as a teenager. So when you walk around, all teenagers, I don't know if you guys remember this about yourselves. When you're in high school and everybody's like, my God, I don't want to show my face. I don't want to, like, everybody is, even the most secure people and the most secure, confident people are insecure in high school. That's why the young souls, all they care about is the Louis Vuitton, Prada, this brand name, just like a high school student. A high school student that wants Nike and Adidas. It's the same thing when it comes to the soul ages. It's so similar. So I don't even have to tell you this stuff. You guys can just kind of know what the soul age is. And a teenager, if I tell you how old is a teenager, right? Me too, high school, I was super insecure. A teenager is in between the ages of like 12-ish, when they start, sometimes they start at 10, but it's like 12 to like 21. 12 to 21, you have that like teen type feeling. How many years is that? That's the same as I was telling you. There's a lot of years and years and years of this soul. There is years of being a toddler. You are a toddler from the age, as soon as you start to walk, till about like 5-6 years old. You're this tiny little baby soul. And then when you hit this soul, so it's like you're doing these soul ages, different things. The same with the mature soul. Mature soul, picture it from like 30 to 55. Do you know what I mean? Like that retirement age, 55, 60. That's a lot of mature soul ages. So in one, it's basically the theory behind this is the same as our lifetime theory. We come back the same amount of lives, just as if this is our life. It's like a whole circle. Do you guys get it? I don't know if I'm explaining it properly. And then the retired soul, you die. And then you go back to your planet, whatever planet you come from, Sirius, Pleiadians, whatever planet you come from. And you're just like, wow, I just lived a whole bunch. But we see time in here. We're like, oh my God, that's so many years. That's like, how many years did I come back? Like 10,000 years? I came back 10,000 times? But we see time as linear in this life. When you live in here, and time is not the same. It's not calculated like the 3-dimensional world. And once again, people were right, and I ended up doing a 2-hour live. This is interesting, but in the end, what does it matter? Okay, our day-to-day life. Why it matters is that if you know this, when people act up around you, and you know about mature souls, okay? Yes, I'm going to post the video. So when you ask and you're like, what about mature souls? Like, I need to know. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I don't care about it. Don't care. If you don't care, then don't care. But if you care, then you start looking at people and then you go, oh man, they're a young soul. They're a young soul. You don't judge anymore. Think about it this way. Imagine you have somebody that shows up, okay? And then you look at, let's say you are either pro-Trump or anti-Trump. I'm sorry, nobody passed their comment. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to cause a division, okay? I'm just saying, whether you are pro or not, they're going to trigger you, right? But when you know that Trump is a young soul, he just wants money and power. His life on earth is money and power, money and power. It affects us. Yeah, it's affecting our lives and our soul ages. But what's happening is that you don't get as angry. Like, you'll get angry, but not as angry. You'll get triggered, you'll get upset, but you'll go, oh, they're in their young soul. And do you understand how powerful that is when you know this stuff? Because you're like, the inner peace that I have lived. And I found this out in my early 20s. I realized this in my early 20s. And this is why I do the videos and I don't judge people. Because I'm like, when I look at people and I get triggered, I know now it comes from myself. It has nothing to do with a politician or a celebrity or stuff. And I will get affected because I'm a mature soul. So I will get affected by it. I'll definitely get affected by others. I'm human. I'm going to get emotionally affected by people. But I'm able to go, they're just here for that time. They're just in that soul age. And the inner peace is nice because now I get to focus on me and my family. And I don't have to focus on the outside world so much. Right? Okay, so what are we talking about? So any questions concerning this? I knew this, but I didn't know it. Okay, so basically anybody who resonates with this is because I'm reminding you. That's all it is. I'm very dehydrated. How do you know where you are in your soul age? I think you just know. If you're just tuning into this live, I explained the details of the soul age, which I'm going to upload it on YouTube. Wilo keeps telling everybody my YouTube name is Tanya Beauty Coach. So I'm going to upload this. So if you did miss this live and you want to know the detail for detail, like what every soul age is and how they are. Thank you, Wilo. I feel like Wilo has a copy paste in her notes. Click, click. I thought I was a mature soul. Okay, but by the way, you can still be a mature soul and want money. What drives you? That's what you have to ask. If you want to know the difference between a young soul and a mature soul, is you have to ask yourself, what drives you? Mature soul is driven by love. Young soul is driven by money. You can help people. Like, I know people that are in the MLMs, you know, I know people that are in the multi-level marketing system and stuff like that, and they're helping people. They are. They're helping people and they're getting better and they're getting well and they're on the journey, but what drives them is money. So yeah, they want to help, but it's their second goal. They love people, but it's their second goal. The number one thing that drives them, that they will pass over love. They will destroy, they will remove relationships that stop them from getting money. So have you ever heard people say in their life, people are going to try to bring you down, like try to push away anybody, try to be like the 5 people that surround you. And you have to surround yourself with successful people because you want to be success. So what happens is the young souls, their number one is money. So if you are somebody that doesn't have much money, they won't really hang around you, even though you're very loving. They won't really, they'll try to make you have more money. They'll go, hey, yeah, it is culty a bit. So they'll try to like, hey, you want to get money too? You should have money too. Don't you want money? Money. And you're like, no, I'm good. I want money. I love money. Money is good. Money is energy. But if I don't have money, it's okay too. Like everything is just, and if I do have money, I probably give it away. Like for me, when I have money, I give. And when I get, I give. It's like a circle thing. So that the first thing that drives me is love, relationships. It's like, would you rather, then you ask yourself this, if you want to know the difference between young, would you rather be rich and living in a beautiful house by yourself? Or would you rather be broke, but surrounded by all the people that you love? and you're living in this tiny little shack of nothing, struggling, but you have all the people that you love around you. Which one will determine the soul age that you're in? Do you know? Broke with love. Yeah. But that, even though it determines the soul age, there are mature souls that have money. There are mature souls that are very wealthy and abundant. They are. You're in between. So you're right here. You're right you're one of your young soul ages. Yeah. So, but the cool part here is that, like I said, you can still be abundant and a mature soul. It's just, you just have to ask yourself, what is the number one thing? Because the number one thing, if you want love, if money starts getting in the way of love, you're going to start giving it away. You're going to start, do you know what I mean? More leading to mature. I don't think anyone wants a shack life. Yes, they do love lavender. Believe it or not, people do want a shack life. I am not joking. My stepfather lives like, listen, they have a beautiful, beautiful house, but he goes to his cottage and he lives for weeks in a shack life. In his he built this cabin, okay, with wood, like logs. He has an outhouse. He cuts his own wood. He has a whole log cabin that he built. And he goes in his own fishing. He does his own hunting. He does his own stuff all by himself. He will stay there for weeks. He'll take my mom. My mom likes it, but she's like, I kind of like a little bit more, you know, like at least a toilet, like not an outhouse. But there are people that love it. So you have to understand that there's so many different things. People love traveling and living in vans. Exactly. Tiny House Nation, guys. Have you seen that show? They people take their vans and take their trucks and they take a tiny little house, little place, little shower. And they just want to travel and do that. But usually those ones, the travelers and those ones oftentimes are the baby souls. The ones who travel like that is the baby soul. The ones who just want to experience and travel and snorkeling and all that. It's like a toddler, you know, like, oh, life, you know, experiencing. I joke a lot, but my passion is compassion and love. Yeah, so that's it. That's all you got to know is what drives you. Like, what drives you. This one is learning, experiencing. This one, honestly, I call it just the infant, is experiencing. This one is, what's the word I used before? Risk-taking, okay? Experiencing, risk-taking, money and power, the first thing that drives you. So ask somebody, a risk taker, what do you want to do? You're like, I want to do risk. I want to bungee jump. And they get the risk, the highs, whatever. Yeah. And then the mature soul is love. And the retired soul is nothing. And everything. Can you be a mature baby? Yeah. If you are more of a mature baby, I guess what happens is that you can be in one of your baby lifetimes, but closer to the young soul, getting closer to that one. Sorry that it's upside down. I tried to do the inverted and do you understand? So they do. See, Angel Star, that's the good part about it, is they do all have really good qualities. And remember, the young soul is the most hated. Just like if you ask a human, what is the most hated people on the earth? And it's teenagers. You ask an old person and you ask a young, teenagers are one of the most hated age for people. But they are the trendsetters. They are the ones that are guiding our lives. They are the ones that all social media and media are aimed at them. They are the ones that is creating our future. So, the young souls, you have to understand that when you were a teenager, you were just growing and living and learning about ego, just like the young souls are in our lives now. Although it's tough for them. So I hope I explained it. I'm going to let you guys go. I did a 2-hour live. Damn it. gosh. You know what? I'm glad I didn't make a bet. I'm glad I didn't make a bet because I was like, I'm going to go live for half an hour. And then, yeah, Ray, you end up going for 2 hours. So what I'll do is I'm going to upload this clip. I'm not going to upload when I'm just chatting with you guys, but the solid hour that we talked about, yeah, the solid hour that we talked about the soul ages, I do, Lily. But that's just my belief. It's just my belief. But I do, yes, I do. I do believe in that. Yeah, so I'm going to upload it to YouTube and then, and I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to brush my teeth and go to bed. All right. So I know it's earlier. It's not super late, but I'm really tired. All right. So anybody who wants to know about the soul ages, check out my YouTube. Again, she wrote Tanya Beauty Coach. That's my YouTube. All right. I love you guys. Thank you guys for joining. It was fun. I actually had fun again. I had a lot of fun on this live. It's like, it won't be long. So funny. All right, guys. So I love you very much. And I'll see you guys. I'm always live on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Okay. I'm never sure exactly the times, but you guys can check my stories now because TikTok has stories. So if you want to know what time I go live, just check out my stories because I will always post few hours before, hey, going live at this time today, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And we talk about, we don't know where it takes us. Today, it took us to soul ages. All right. I love you guys. Have a great night. Okay. Bye.